Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Passing Time. I am Maddie. It's a pleasure to have you back or to have me back. Pleasure to be back. Anyways, today we are with,
Happy y'all.
and we don't know what we have planned for today, but before we even get to Reddit, let's remind you guys to go check out our social media, to Passing Time, YouTube, DM us, talk to us, share your stories, share any ideas you want us to talk about. We are here. We'll bring the thunder if you bring the fire. Anyway, so for today's Reddit story, it's going to be a combination of relationship, of advices, of a little of everything to get us back in the grove. Do you want to do paranormals?
How crazy is it?
Ain't that crazy?
Because I don't like weird, creepy stuff.
It's paranormal. They're interesting, fun, different.
It'd be weird.
Okay, let's do this one. I, 28 female, found out one of my friends, 29 male, is dating a 19 female, and I don't know if I should tell the rest of our friend group. Before we start talking about the story, what do you think?
To me, that whole thing is just weird because age matters. At least in my mind, age matters.
They're only roughly 8 years apart.
He's about to be 30.
She's about to be 22.
Not 20. It says 19.
Yeah, he's 29. So, 29. So
She probably just turned 19.
They're 10 years apart.
That's too much. I can't. That's so weird. I think she should. Well, actually, mind your own business.
Right. I went to a local cafe and saw my friend with a young woman who turns out to be his girlfriend of 4 months. I don't know whether or not I should tell the rest of our friend group or not. I've known a 29 male for about 2 decades now since he had transferred to our school, and we have been friends ever since. I went to a local cafe a few days ago and saw him with a young woman I assumed was someone he worked with and was getting lunch with, so I went over to say hello. He introduced her and said that she was his girlfriend. I was taken aback by this because of how young she looked, and I asked how long they'd been dating. He replied that they'd been dating for 4 months now. I got my food and said goodbye and left. Ever since, I've been wondering if I should tell our friend group he is dating. It's just sketchy that he is dating someone a decade younger than him. Any advice is appreciated.
I feel like that's his business to tell. You know, if he wants to introduce, he went ahead and introduced that girl to the friend.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly he isn't trying to hide it, but because if he was trying to hide it, he could have been like, oh yeah, this is just a co-worker of mine, which would still be a bit weird in my opinion. But it seems like he's not trying to hide it. He's just probably trying to figure out, okay, is it something that I could be like, okay, I could introduce you to the rest of my friends, you know?
Right.
Because at that right here, they just got caught. Not caught, but like just seen. They got seen.
So you think if it wasn't for that instant, he would not have introduced that girl to her?
Probably not. Maybe like if they continue.
4 months is only short, so I think there's a lot of possibility in the future for run-ins and stuff like that. 4 months is a trial run, in my opinion.
6 months. 6 months is not even enough, honestly.
I feel like at the 6 months, mark, that's when I will start introducing you to my friends. You know, because I'm like, we need to go past the 6 months for me to even count you to be in a relationship. Like the first 4 or 5 is just a trial to kind of feel how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And then 6 months, I'm like, okay, this is starting to get a little serious now. Like, let's see what we can, where we'll go from here.
Right, or you just a 6-month thing?
Yeah, are you like a fling, or this is about to turn something serious?
You do flings?
No, I don't do flings.
Oh.
I don't even do relationships. Let's be real now.
I was about to say.
The top comment said, "Man, this is a really touchy subject, but honestly, there is really only one question you need to ask yourself. Do you want to stay friends with him going forward? Everyone can give your opinions on that one way or the another, but in the end, that decision is yours."
Yeah.
And then they reply, "If OP is questioning what they're telling others, then I think it's clear it bothers her. I think some other good question to ask are, if you found out all your friends knew about this relationship, would you be upset that this information was withheld from you for a period of time? Does OP think she would be upset if she hid this information from others? As in, does she feel like she's complicit and or approving of the relationship if she keeps her mouth shut? Does the group talk about dating, or are they all extremely private and nobody knows who's dating anyone?"
Oh my gosh, if somebody held that type of information from me and they considered me their friend for... Imagine that this 4 months, they have made it official, right? But they weren't telling... They were only telling certain people. And then you come to find out later that they've known each other for 6 more months on top of the 4 months or 3 months.
Also, another question you probably would need to ask, does OP has a thing for this guy?
Because why are you bothered?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, wow. Oh.
Because she known him for over 2 decades, and she's a new girl. All of a sudden, he's into dating her and everything. But like, hey, I've known you for a very long time. Why you never asked me out,
Oh, that's wild.
Crazy.
That could be a possibility, honestly. Because females be on some crazy stuff.
I don't think it's female, per se.
Even males, too.
I think male are just blind sometimes.
Blind? To what? To the fact that a female friend likes them?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like, not every guy is out there just wanting a relationship with their friend.
That's true. But some of them be wanting a relationship, and they're just... But depending on the vibe they're getting from the girl.
Don't get me started.
I mean, depending on the vibe they get from the girl, they might be like, she's giving me mixed signals. I'm like, does she want...
It could be the guy too, bro. Don't play that game.
But like, I guess if you want them to be the one to make the first move.
Some guys don't want the girl to be the first to make the move.
No, if you, the female, want the guy to make the first move, you gotta be clear in them signs that you're giving, right?
I guess I wasn't giving clear signs. Continue. I ain't gonna be bitter all night.
I can't. Oh gosh. I mean, you just gotta be clear. What I'm learning is you gotta be clear in the type of signals that you give, but some men are just so clueless. Oh my gosh, they don't know how to read.
Clueless or oblivious?
Oblivious? Yeah, that too. Like, I'm showing you everything, bro. Like, I'm showing you everything,
Be like,
but you just can't get it.
Even if you were to get on your one knees right now and be like, will you marry me? Hell yeah, I will marry you. Like, ugh.
I can't. What?
But, next story.
You would?
Next story.
You would?
But that's beyond the point. Right?
Oh, are you sure?
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I have moved on and moved past it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have made amends. You know,
Have you?
Yeah, yeah. Now that we're talking about relationship, just came up. You know, just came up. Yeah, I did not go through a breakup. If y'all were just wondering,
LOL.
you know, I just like to play both sides. You know, for people to really see both sides. I'm not in my feelings or anything. You know, yeah. Go ahead. LOL, we're looking at the same story.
For real? Oh. Oh, that's how you know. Ooh. You want to go ahead and
Go
read
ahead.
it? Okay. Oh, so the title. I'm going to just read the abbreviations the way they are. AITAH. Am I the a-hole for having another man's baby? Ooh. Okay. I, 28 female, have an open relationship with my 29 male husband. Wait, what? Okay, people do that?
Open relationships?
Married?
Yeah. Will Smith and Jada Smith were in an open marriage for a long time.
Look how that turned out.
They're still married. Just in
But
what?
he was hurt.
That's what happens when you play with the heart now.
Okay. Continue. We have been married for 5 years, and the last 2 years have been open. During this time, I have had a number of health issues, mostly with my reproductive system that I was told that it would be unlikely to Okay, I think she meant to write conceive. Okay, last December, I started to see this guy and we hit it off and saw each other regularly. The end of February, I found out I was pregnant with twins and it is his babies. Wow. As a husband, if that were me, I'd be real upset.
Who started?
But then again, you would have to... Sorry, guys. Let me stop and finish the whole story. The end of February, I found out I was pregnant with twins, and it is his babies. P.S. I was on birth control. It took me a few weeks to wrap my head around things and tell my husband. At first, he was supportive and said, I love you, and these babies are a part of you, so I will love them too. A few weeks later, he changed his mind after realizing that the father wasn't just going to walk away from the kids. He said he would be okay with it as long as the biological father of the twins were not a part of their lives. For background, his mother had him as a teenager and he has had a stepdad for his entire life and has an estranged relationship with his biological father. Although he had a stepdad, he always wanted his biological father to play a bigger role than ever he did. I don't understand how he cannot relate to the situation and expect the kids to want nothing to do with their biological father. 2 weeks ago, he planted the seed that, quote unquote, I have to get an abortion or else he'd never be happy. At 3 a.m. this morning, he left me a letter before leaving on a work trip that said, it's the babies or divorce.
Oh.
I feel conflicted because what if this is the only time I can have kids? It hasn't happened in years and it's that what if it never happens again factor that has made things so difficult for me. If he had had the same stance on things from the beginning when I told him at 10 weeks, I would understand, but the fact he waited till I am 17 weeks along to reveal how he really feels is messed up because I'm almost halfway through the pregnancy. Does he expect there to be no resentment and I do the procedure and we act like nothing happened and go on being married? Am I the a-hole?
One, no, because he could have said, first of all, who opened up the idea of the open marriage concept? Because if he's the one who opened the idea, opened that, then he should just suck it up at this point. Or, and I feel like What most guys don't realize is once you have a human or a child growing inside of you, you know, you have grown attached to it without even being, you know, when you have even physically met it. And like a lot of hormones are going through it. Like you are feeding this child, you are harboring in your stomach, and like he wouldn't understand the the maternal instinct, you know, since he's not the one carrying the child. You know, I feel like for somebody else looking in, it's easier to be like, oh, leave it or kill it, you know, when you're not the one experiencing it, you know, or the one carrying it. Same way in like a toxic relationship, it's easy for a person looking in be like, he's not the one for you, she's not the one for you, she's too toxic for you, you know, versus the person actually in the relationship, it's just like, oh snap, I can't leave, you know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like, considering she sounds like she wanted kids and they were married for 5 years, were they not trying to have kids in those 3 years where the marriage wasn't an open marriage? Or were they trying and they just couldn't? And then she said that her doctors told her she couldn't ever conceive.
I don't think it's that they were not trying or trying. I mean, that is up to them. I'm not saying I know their like background, their story or whatnot. But it could also be that they were, how old are they?
29, 28 and 29.
So 5 years, be like what? In 22 and 23, 23 and 24?
Something like that.
So at that age, they probably just want to experience life together, but they're not ready for that full responsibility, at least for most people that age. They're not ready for the next chapter to become parents, you know? So I guess at that time, they just were into just being together without the responsibility. Or that thing that holds them down.
Okay, 5 years. And then 2 years, you make the marriage an open marriage. Like, how does that work? Like, so, in the first 3 years, everything is okay? Or is there some issues going on to the point where you guys are like, okay, let's make this an open marriage? Who was unhappy and wanted to explore? That's crazy.
That's what's missing in that story, isn't it?
Yeah. So who wanted kids and who didn't want kids? In my opinion, I feel like she's not in the wrong. She should keep the babies because, honey, this might be the last time you can have kids.
Right.
If he's not the problem.
I'm weak.
No, I did think that at first. I wasn't gonna say it, but like it just came out. He might be the issue, but but then again, she did say she has some issues with her reproductive
system.
Yes, so this might be her only chance to actually have kids.
Right.
So I think, baby girl, go ahead and have them kids. Don't care about, care about his feelings, but try to make him understand. Show him. Be like, bro, you were once in a situation where these kids will also be in. Their biological father wants to, their biological father wants to be a part of this. So why do you want to take that away from them? And why? Nah, it's just not making sense. But keep the babies. Yeah, keep the babies. And if he really wants to divorce you, he ain't a man.
Period. Don't bring something if you can't, face the consequences.
Who? No, the husband doesn't want to. Both of the men? No, one of them wants to be there, but it's the
fact that's not his.
That's crazy. He said he was supportive in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the top comment says, your marriage is already over. There are no winners or a happy outcome for all people involved. Someone will always be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Better to end it sooner than rather than later.
Right.
And then comment under that, yes, OP. If you want children, pick the babies. If you pick him, he is very, very likely to make you to make you RUE to make you rue that choice in the end.
Regret.
Probably. He will hold it over your head or mope about it, or he will be callously indifferent to what you sacrificed for him. I don't see how your marriage can survive this. One of you is going to be resentful for the rest of your lives. Dang. But it's kind of true. Like, in the first place, why did y'all make it an open marriage? Why do y'all do this? Y'all are so weird. Y'all people who do this are so weird. That is one of the things that I'm just not open or understanding about.
I'm not understanding about a lot of the choices people make, but
I can't accept it. And I don't care how you feel, whoever listening to this. If you that type of person and you feel offended,
as you should.
I ain't sorry. I said what I said. That's my opinion. That's what I think. But you can think what you want to think.
You're not gonna go back on your choice?
I don't support an open marriage.
Right.
Or multiple wives.
Justin hearing this? LOL.
Yes and no.
For the next story, my mom recently found out her boyfriend is a sex offender. I don't know how to feel about this. My mom divorced my dad last year. It was a very hard time for all three of us. My dad since then has remarried. My mom has seen a guy who we'll just call Frank. Frank's a nice guy. He treats my mom really well, even though she can give him a pretty hard time because of the trauma she has. He has helped her pay her bills, buy groceries, cook, buy food for us. However, my mom got cautious one night and decided to Google his full name. It turned out he is a registered sex offender. When she called me, I let out a loud, audible WTF. I couldn't believe a nice gentleman like Frank could be a sex offender. I just couldn't. In his defense, he said that he only hugged the underage girl to comfort her in an uncomfortable situation they were in, which doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't know you could be a sex offender for simply hugging an underage girl. Frank, however, has a history of withholding information when he and my mom, first met him. He refused to tell her where he lived for a couple months until she found out on her own. His excuse has always been that he was going to tell her eventually. That doesn't sit well with me because I would never tell her. I think I skipped the line. That does not sit well with me because I feel like if my mom would never find out that stuff, he would never told her. At least not right away. But it's almost been a year. I don't know. My mom thinks that people can change and that their past doesn't matter, that he just made a mistake. I want to believe that too, but he does have a criminal history when he was younger, and I was fine with that. But a sex offender status, I just don't know. Sorry if I have any typos or grammatic errors.
Yes, people can change, but some people, they continue to show little things where they're like, where you question them, like, I want to agree that you can change or whatever, but you're showing little signs of not being able to. Like, you have those little signs where you kind of look like you're about to go back to the person that you used to be, even though you're saying you're changing. But I still believe people can change. Yeah.
Ooh. Edit. To add some extra information, Frank was at least 25 years old when he did what he did, which is why I don't think he has an excuse for what he did. Thank you all for informing me. I tried Google all this stuff and couldn't find nothing. I'm going to try my hardest to convince my mom to leave this scumbag. Also, this is my first Reddit. Top comment. Look him up on the sex offender registry. It will provide his charges, so you better have a better idea what he did. There's a bunch of ways to get on the registry that doesn't require non-consensual or consensual sex with a minor. And apparently was carnal knowledge of a juvenile.
What is that?
Sex with a minor.
Oh. Wow.
So rape. For raping a minor.
Oh, that is wild. Oh, so... Wow. Honey, try to convince your mother to leave. But why did he withhold all that information?
Exactly.
Nah, man. She better leave. Sure, it's great to give people chances, but if somebody withholds information that important about their past, it's a no. You gotta leave.
Okay, this one is something short.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend and gay friend are kind of close. Do you find it okay? Girlfriend sleeping with gay friend in the same bed and going in bathroom together, sending me snaps from each other while the other is peeing. They know each other for 5 years and my girl and I for 6.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hell no.
How do we know he's actually gay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Communication saves good relationship and destroys bad one. Voice your concern.
No, for real.
And then someone else like, yes, set some boundaries, man. If you don't like it, if she doesn't respect your feelings, then that's a problem. Forget the idea of getting their lesbian friend to share a bed or trying to find some other way to level the playing field with your girlfriend. Just don't even deal with it. Both her gay friend are mad at you for simply voicing your concern. It's not fair to bring someone else in your relationship.
That's so weird.
Edit. OP posted another comment saying that both the gay friend and the girlfriend were mad at him.
Mad at him for what?
I guess voicing his concern.
Nah, those are... He is right for doing that. Because how you just gonna stay mad? Like, if it were me, I think I would have walked out of that relationship because you's not respecting me. Sorry, I spaced out for a second. He wouldn't be Let's say my man's had a lesbian best friend. I'm like, honey, it's a no. It's a no. Because I feel like people be lying just... I'm not even finished that sentence. But yeah, people be lying sometimes. And I think that's just... Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You need to break up with her. Break up with her. Find you a new girl.
I played a prank on my girlfriend. Now regarding it, I, 24 male, have lived with my girlfriend, 22 female, for 8 months. We've been together for 18 months. We moved in together when she lost the lease on her apartment, and my parents hinted that they'd like to turn my bedroom into an art room. I didn't mind moving now, and the timing just felt right. My girlfriend, I call her Linda, is a wonderful person, very warm and affectionate, very calm and chilled out. We split the chores and the bills equally. I don't have any issue with intimacy or communication, but the only thing that has a problem, for me at least, is how calm and controlled she is. I know that doesn't sound like a bad thing. Really, it isn't, I guess, but she never seemed to get excited about anything. She enjoyed things quietly, disliked things with the same amount of energy. She never reacts to anything without complete self-control. I started to wonder if she had a capacity for strong emotions, if there were some buried trauma causing her to stiff her reactions, because our communication has always been so good. I had no problem asking about it. She told me that honestly, she's not that bothered by anything and doesn't see any reason to act out unnecessarily. It still bothered me though. She could watch a horror movie and not even flinch at jump scares. Still, she'll watch a comedy and just chuckle at the funniest bit. When we planned a trip to Disneyland, something she said she always wanted to do, she seemed quietly pleased and barely excited at all. I know it shouldn't matter, but recently I've been thinking about proposing to her, and a part of me dreads her reaction if she says yes. Which I'm fairly confident she will do. As we discuss marriage often, she seemed to be agreeable. I've been watching TikToks of women getting surprise proposals, and the way they react fills me with longing. They scream with joy, they cry, they violently hug their partner, they express their happiness so obviously, and I would love to get that kind of response. But I feel like Linda would just smile and say yes, and accept the ring. And while that would be great, there's a part of me that wants more.
Dang.
So I've been doing stupid things. I know they're stupid and I know that you will judge me, but most things are harmless. I started when it was her birthday, set up a space in our home, laden with gifts and balloons and flowers for her. And when she walked in and saw it, I fired off one of those things that shoots confetti and streamers everywhere. I did it fairly close to her, but she didn't flinch. She was pleased with the effort I made, especially as I was cooking a romantic meal for her. She hovered around the kitchen, chatting with me as I cooked, and when her back was turned, I dropped the meal lid from one of our pans right behind her. We had a sleek floor, and the lid made a huge noise that made me clench, even though I expected it, but she just turned around to see what the noise was. She had her eyebrows raised, but that was the only expression of surprise she showed. I felt stupid and mean for a cheap trick, but somehow my failure made me determined to do more. I know I shouldn't have. It was childish and petty, not to mention unkind, but she just never budged. It started to piss me off, if I'm being honest. I was lucky she was a patient woman, but didn't seem to have any inkling that I was doing these things on purpose. Although she did suggest it might be a good idea to make a doctor's appointment, as I was quite clumsy lately. My efforts ended one night after I had a few too many beer and I went too far. Linda had been working late and I'd been moping around waiting for her to come home when I found a mask I wore for Halloween, and it gave me an idea. We had a large pantry in our apartment with a door that was clear glass on the top half, and drunk me decided it would be a really good idea to hide in the pantry wearing the mask and jump up when she came to the kitchen. I know, ridiculous, even worse. I decided to hide my camera on the shelf in the pantry to film her reaction, with a vague idea of uploading to TikTok if it went well.
Oh my gosh.
As static as she was, she would surely react to a monster jumping up at her from behind the pantry. Wouldn't she? I set everything up and waited, turning the kitchen light off. She came home not long after I shut myself in the pantry, and I heard her calling to me as she walked around the apartment. I had a chance then to call it off. I should have done that. I heard her come into the kitchen, saw the lights on, then heard her wandering around collecting stuff from the drying rack to put it away. When her footsteps got close enough, I jumped up, snarling and clapping my hands against the glass. Childish my prank was, I didn't consider how she might actually react. Part of me hoped she at least scream. A part of me thought she'd step back from the door in her usual collected way. What she did was a natural reaction for anyone, I think.
Oh my gosh.
She threw the object in her hand at the glass of the door towards the intruder that had strung up to threaten her. That object was a large cast iron pan.
Wow.
I knew it was heavy as I had to heave it upon the drying rack when I washed it earlier, so it broke through the glass with ease. The round, blackened surfaces of the bottom of the pan approaching my head was the last thing I remember about waking up in hospital. I suffered a concussion that thankfully didn't leave any serious damage, but along with that, I had sustained a broken jaw, a broken nose, a shattered cheekbone, and a fracture in the bone around my eye socket. I also had some laceration from the broken glass, some of which required stitches but weren't life-threatening. Still, I had been lucky. Linda was full of apologies when I woke up, But how could I blame her? She was deeply distraught in her own way about what she'd done, but as soon as they gave me a pad and pen to write messages, I told her I forgave her, asked if she could forgive me for the stupid prank I had played. She stayed by my bedside as much as she could during my recovery, keeping me entertained and bringing me home-cooked meals, and there wasn't a day I didn't despise myself for the idiotic stunt I pulled, and not a day I wasn't grateful for this wonderful woman. It really put things into perspective. She may not be a hugely demonstrative woman, and she may not react in a normal fashion to many things, but she cared for me, and we could build an amazing life together. Once I was home, she set about taking care of me even more. She wouldn't even let me lift the fingers to do anything, even though I tried to fulfill my share of the chores and rarely left me alone in case I needed something. She wasn't around all the time, however, when she finally left to go to the grocery store, I had a chance to go into the pantry and retrieve the camera I hidden. I've been anxious about her finding it. I hidden it well, but it would only have taken the shifting of a few items for it to be discovered. She had forgiven me for my prank, but if she found out I filmed it too, she would have been mortified and rightfully upset. I had planned on simply deleting the footage I recorded. It was painful memory of a memotic deed. But once I had the camera in my hands, I couldn't help but give it to the desire to watch the moment I'd been knocked out. A forbidden fascination, maybe. The camera had filmed until the battery had run flat, and after I put in the charger, I located the footage of me hiding and crouching down in the dark. I watched through the camera unwavering eyes as the kitchen light came on, illuminating a bright square above my head. I saw the clear outline of Linda through the glass as she was on TV, moving out of the kitchen, picking up the pen, and making her way to the cabinet beside the pantry. And then I saw myself jump up. My darker silhouette blocked out most of the view of the kitchen, but I could see my shoulder as Lydia's arm raised, launching the pen on my head. She didn't make a sound, no shriek or gasp, and I fell to the floor. She walked up to the shattered window and looked in at me, framed by the jagged shards. Her eyes were wide and her mouth hung slightly open, but other than that, her face told nothing of her emotion. She opened the pantry door and looked down at me for a long second. Her head was down, so I couldn't see her face. I counted a second on the camera as it ticked past, and she stared down at my prone body for nearly a full minute. Then she bent down, and when she stood upright again, she held the cast iron in her hands. Another 20 seconds of her scrutiny, she turned the pen around so that her right hand held the handle and raised her arm to waist level. Then she waited. After another 15 seconds, I heard a noise, my voice, raised in a feasible moan. Only then did she move again. She only hit me once, but she put her other arm into it, swimming from her shoulder, lifting the pen high, then bringing it down.
Wait. When he was down, she hit him?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I heard the whistle of the pen traveling through the air, then a silent thump of it hitting my face. I thought I could hear the crunch of my bone breaking, but my mind might have filled that detail in. She didn't stop to look at the damage she'd done, but simply went back into the kitchen. I heard water running as she presumably rinsed the blood from the bottom of the pan, the clunks of it, and returned to the dish rack. After another 30 seconds or so, I heard her voice from another room, faint but clear, asking for an ambulance. She has been at the grocery store for an hour and is probably due back very soon. I'm not sure what to do.
Wait, I don't get it. When he was down, did she hit him again? What? She hit him with the pen again. But this time on purpose.
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what?
It seems to me that you had a mask on and she sure to double tap the monster who invaded your house. I think she only realized was you after the paramedic managed to get a positive ID. It explains the conversation. I think I'm also being generous. Your girlfriend repressed emotion also seemed to repress the guilt or inhibition against murder. You or not, or perhaps more scary, if you died, this was not her first.
Dang. Oh my gosh, that is so scary. Like, how can a person be that chill? Only psychopaths are like that. Like, not a single. No. Like, if I hear a sound, like something dropping, I'm sure going to react.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jump and turn around with the surprised face. Not with. No, she's something else. And if somebody does something so sweet for you, like what he did for her birthday.
He says he's scared to post to her. I'll be hella scared too.
Oh my gosh.
If you're not excited, if I can't see visibly in your face that you're excited for something, I might check back my ring. Like, this is not it. We're not meant to be, obviously.
That's so crazy.
Same way, if a guy ever proposed to me, I need to see that you're visibly, like, nervous, scared, or something. I need to see some sort of emotion. Like, if you expect something from me, to be, oh, yes, oh, cringy. But I need to see that, you know? Like, I need your
like
knees.
you was nervous.
Yeah.
You was scared for the answer that I'd give.
Like, your knees wobbly, like, like something. Something.
Oh
like, show me, like, you want this,
Yeah.
Not,
That is so scary.
Hell yeah.
Like, like you said, if I do something nice for somebody, like, go above and beyond, like he did for the birthday, and your reaction is just, thanks.
That's so sweet.
I need you to be like, oh my god, what? Oh, you did this for me.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, not.
Let me pull out that word. You shouldn't have. And when you say you shouldn't have, I need to see, like, you're happy. Like, don't be like,
that's crazy.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, he should hold off on that proposal.
Matter of fact, hold up on that relationship. Wait until your lease is up and move, bro. Move.
That's so crazy. She should have. Okay, when she got closer, she should have took off that mask and see who it is.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's the first thing I do when you're still down.
Yeah. And I see you not moving.
She stood for a good minute or so just looking at that body.
That's scary. Did he post it on TikTok? I want to see.
Hello, boyfriend wants to move out but stay together. 25 male, 26 female. I'm in need of some guidance regarding a situation with my boyfriend. Recently, he expressed his desire to move out of our shared living space while maintaining our relationship. I thought things were going relatively well, although not perfect, and this caught me off guard. To provide more context, we've had a few fights in the past, but we hadn't had any major argument in a while, and I genuinely believe everything was going smoothly. We even had plans to attend a concert together, a 5-hour drive away, for my upcoming birthday in early June. However, given the current circumstances, I'm finding it hard to master up the excitement to go. What making the situation even more confusing is that he plans to move just 5 minutes away to live with his dad. He wouldn't have to pay any rent there, but to be fair, he doesn't currently contribute to rent in our current home because I own it. According to him, he feels like we're in a rut and believes that moving out will help him regain the spark we had before we started living together. It's worth mentioning that I practically lived at his space before we moved in together, spending most nights, even days there. He assures me that he will still wants to spend time together and come over, but I can't shake the feelings that this is a step backward rather forward. We only lived together since early January, so about 5 months now. What concerned me is that it feels like a breakup in disguise with added complicity. I can't help but wonder if he actually wants to break up and is subconsciously avoiding the idea. Additionally, it bothers me that he lived with his ex for over a year and only moved out after they broke up. She put him through an open relationship so she could sleep with other guys and even transmitted herpes to him, which understandably hurts my feelings and raises questions about his judgment. I'm struggling to figure out what I should do in this situation. Should I consider his request and give him the space he's asking for, or is it a sign of deeper issues in our relationship? The upcoming concert, which was supposed to be a special birthday celebration, now feels uncertain and not as appealing. Any advice or perspective would be greatly appreciated because I'm feeling really lost right now.
I think she should just tell him how she's feeling, like voice her concerns about the whole thing. But first of all, why did y'all move in together? That's my question. Like, if y'all wanted to live together, might as well get married.
Right.
You know? Because,
and for him to move, I feel like she said they were living in a house that she bought. Could it be?
Some men feel a bit weird.
Could it be that?
No, could be.
Because I have been told by countless male that they don't ever see themselves living in a house that the female bought. There's no reason for a female to be living by herself because once they're ready to take the next step forward, the guy's not coming into your house, you're going to his house. Could it be that they feel some sort of way?
I think that's a very old-fashioned type of thinking. I mean, I see that as being an issue that some men might deal with. I feel like if your significant other has found this house, if your significant other, the female, has found a place, like, and it's great, like there's nothing wrong with it, I feel like y'all should just go ahead and live there, especially if it's a house, and just either whether it's adding your name onto it so that both of y'all own it, if that's a way.
I would never add a dude on a deed until we are married.
Yeah, married.
Other than that, if we're like boyfriend and girlfriend, no, you're not getting added.
That's wild.
Suck it up. Put your big boy pants on. If you're not contributing anything financially towards a house, your name is not going on the deed.
Even if he is contributing,
I need a ring on my finger. You become a husband before that happens, okay?
Yeah, I need the wife title.
Right, because there's no way. In case you were to leave me, no, absolutely not. You're not about to put, oh, I own this. You know, act right. Hell no.
I mean, my guy is never going to have to worry about that because I'm going to wait until he's the one who's like, no, actually, he's not going to be the one to bring up that. Hopefully he is. But it's probably going to be me nagging. I need a house. I need a house.
I'm weak.
You ready to get a house? I'm ready to get a house.
LOL. Top comment. After reading your post, I come to a conclusion that I would let him go. Here's why. If I felt like my relationship was in a rut, I would talk about it with my partner, not move out. And if talking about it and trying to figure out always ways to improve things wasn't successful, I'll look into couples therapy. But if that didn't help things, or if my partner refused to go to couples therapy, only then would I consider moving out. Inherently, in all of the above is having a high level of commitment to each other and the relationship, which I don't think he has. I'm sorry to say, yeah, I will let him go and take a friend to a concert instead of him. You need to celebrate your birthday with someone who loves and appreciates you.
I mean, you don't gotta be so quick to drop him. Have the conversation first.
Of course.
And then if you need to drop him, go ahead.
I want to drop people, but these days, usually I used to drop people left and right. But these days, it's starting to become really hard. I think I just care about people's feelings a little too much. Like, I need to go back to where, like, I care just enough, you know? And drop them left and right, ghosted them left and right. These days, I feel like, damn, I'm always having relationship issues, not the relationship. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
I'm ready to have the relationship and the issues, not that. Not one or the other, you know? I'm tired of it. If you're listening, you're talking to me, we'll probably have issues, okay?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, man.
I would not. I mean, first of all, I don't think I would want to move in with a man without
Marriage?
Yeah.
That's a American way of thinking.
I mean, some Americans also think that way, which I'm glad there's still some people who think like that. Because, I don't know. I guess they call us the old-fashioned people, right?
They call y'all the old-fashioned people.
The ones who be saying, I want the marriage first before moving in.
Yeah. I'm built different.
I'm built different. You wouldn't move in with a man.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I, 20 female, overheard that my boyfriend, 21 male, of 4 year, is complete. I know what that's how you spell that word.
Complacent?
Breaking up with me. So our apartment flooded and we had to move in temporarily with a friend, 22 female, until July 1st. Last night, they invited friends over. I had to work at 6 a.m., so I tried sleeping in the car since they were so loud. But since it was too cold, I quietly went back into the bedroom. My boyfriend left to drive someone home, and my roommate was still there with 2 other friends. She started telling them about how awful of a roommate I am because I've been making her upset for reasons that she never even brought up to me. I've only been staying here a week or so since she was talking about me, I was paying attention. Then the topic switched to my relationship. Apparently, my boyfriend's been telling them all horrible things about me. Some of them not even true, and others being things he has not told me were a huge problem. Like me having panic attacks every few months, which he finds annoying, I guess. Then she mentioned that he's trying to find a reason not to move in with me again. We've been out apartment searching since, because he's been thinking about breaking up with me. My heart sank. Then he came home, told her I've been here the whole time, and came to check on me. I pretended to be sleeping. He then showed her our entire text conversation from that day, which I have not planned to have shared. It makes me feel as if this must be something he does regularly, and like I can't trust anything I say to him no more. I came out later pretending I woke up to pee and acted completely clueless, and they seemed to have bought it. And I went to bed with him like nothing was wrong and pretended to be fine since I've had a weight in my stomach all day and felt like puking every time I eat it. Do I bring it up that I know, or just continue to pretend that everything's fine? We have a family trip together next month with my family that's been booked and paid for, and I also have to live here until July 1st. I'm hurting so bad and I don't know what to even do about it. I also take any advice on how to feel better. Your comment?
I think I would just leave. But why is he telling the bit? What? I can't stand a man who talks too much. Dang! They don't know how to keep nothing, honestly. That's what I've realized. Like, why are you telling every little thing about your girl? Do you hate her that much?
And then they be having problem with you talking to your closest friend
Exactly
about that relationship. But here you're hearing of the relationship from other people. How does that make sense?
It don't make sense.
How does it make sense, bruh? Like, how can you have a problem me talking to somebody, getting advice about how I feel about you, but then you over here telling everybody else around you? Please. I can go on about this subject, but I would choose to be the man in this relationship. Huh?
LOL. I think it's just wrong, because, like, if I'm gonna be with you
Mm-hmm.
and you have an issue with me and you can't come, you don't feel comfortable enough to come to me and be like, hey, I'm feeling this type of way. Like, can we talk about it? Obviously, I'm gonna be like, this, I'm dating a whole baby. I'm dating a boy. Like, you're not a man, because
Mm-hmm.
if you can have a conversation with me, like, about something that you clearly
That is
are having,
clearly bothering you at this
yeah.
point.
And then she said she didn't know some of the stuff, like, bothered him to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, bruh. Do better. Even if you're terrible at communicating, like, if somebody is doing something that you don't appreciate, you're able to be like, okay, this making me a little uncomfortable or whatever. You don't just stay quiet. Like, you show hints of it bothering you or whatever. Nah, if my man does that, going to tell all of my business, all of our business to his family,
Mm-hmm.
boo, just leave me, because at that point, you don't really care about me.
Right.
And then talking about all this lies, telling them lies about me, just to make me look like the bad guy.
Right.
You don't love me.
Right.
Like, you hate me with a passion. So I don't understand why you still with me.
I'd rather you leave peacefully
Yeah.
than drag me with you.
No, for real. 100%. That's the way I would love for every relationship that I ever get into that doesn't end up working. I need it to end peacefully. And for everything to be resolved. No questions left unanswered. No person feeling,
Some type of way.
why? Like, what did I do? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave somebody questioning themselves. What happened? Like, 1 minute we're good, the next, oh, yeah, need a break. Wait.
Top comment. I had already made up my mind when I read that he was okay with you sleeping outside in the car, so he and his friends could
Wait.
have fun. Yeah, so they have friends over. She was like, she's gonna go sleep in the car, so that they can have their fun time. But she was like, it was a little quiet. It was a little cold outside, so she quietly went back inside. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but this dude does not care about you. Highly recommend not getting stuck in a lease with him, as I suspect this will be the first of many other issues. Leave the entire dumpster pile of human beings behind. Can you move back in with your family?
No, for real, I hope she can, because that's crazy.
My male 26 boyfriend. Oh. Let's skip that one.
Why?
Let's just skip it.
Okay. But how is a man gonna let his girl sleep in the car? That is so crazy to me. Brother, any male out there hearing this and you let your female sleep outside in the cold just because you got a couple of friends over, bro, you better kick them friends out. Kick them out. Because who's more important? It should be your girl, not your homeboys. That's so disgusting. I kind of want to put it on the same level as a man who beats his wife. I feel like they're equivalent.
That's even worse. Man who beats his wife.
It's the same.
I'd be okay sleeping in the car than him beating me.
No. In the cold?
She made up that decision. She could have stayed inside.
But why didn't he stop her?
Also, this is someone else's house, so you can't decide who they bring over, who they invite.
Ain't she paying bills?
I don't think so. And they only have been there for a week.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
When was this story posted?
A couple hours ago.
And she has to stay until July?
First.
Girl, if you're not paying no bills and your name ain't on the lease, you better go home.
I am weak.
Cause heck no, do not suffer. Oh, I pray to God that she can go back home and it wasn't like something where, like she can't go back. That would suck. Oh my gosh. Is it the parents' house?
A friend's house.
Their friend's house? They're leaving.
They're living with a friend who's 22, female. So also I'm thinking maybe she has a thing for that boyfriend.
I don't like that. That don't feel right. It don't sound right at all.
Oh, this one has no it has one comment 3 hours ago. I, 25 female, can't tough. My intuition is pushing me to break up with my boyfriend, 27 male. I still have feelings for my ex from 3 years ago. We haven't spoken for nearly 2 years. I honestly thought I have gotten over my feelings, but it's been 3 years and I still think about him every day. I really miss the way he used to look at me. It was like he could see into my soul. He was intuitive, and he just knew how to love me and make me feel safe. He was the first person to ever see me for who I am. We used to have so much fun together, like the vibes were 100. We spent almost all our time together playing games, listening to music, talking, just good quality time. He really was my best friend. We broke up because I wasn't in a place to have a relationship. I was young, 21, 22, and didn't have the emotional intelligence to communicate how I felt, and I had a lot of insecurities and self-worth issues. I cheated on him and then broke up with him because I was trying to run away. Now I'm much more capable of expressing myself and communicating. Anyway, fast forward 3 years, and I'm currently in a relationship of 8 months. There have been some issues of him being a little controlling due to his insecurity and trauma, but he is very self-aware and is actively trying to make changes. I'm understanding because I've been there. The thing is, while I care about him very much, this isn't that same kind of love I experienced before. I really had to teach him how to love me through, though it feels like our love language are completely different. He books dates and we do have a lot of fun time together, but he doesn't suggest doing small quality things together, like going for a walk or physical playing games or just chatting. I always am the one to suggest or push these agenda because I really value that quality time. It makes me feel loved and like he enjoy and is interested in hanging out with me as a human being. I express how I feel, but still it's hard to change someone's way of showing love. This, among some other instances, indicates that we just aren't very compatible. I expressed my concern, and he said he wants to give this 100%, ditch his insecurity, and embrace his trust in me. He wants to love me like I ask and be more playful together like I am. Where I'm stuck is he a great guy. He loves me and he's loyal to me. He's ambitious and has a fantastic career. He's outgoing and intelligent, and we have amazing chats about life, human consciences. He makes every effort to befriend my friend, but part of me doesn't want to settle down and embrace what I have. I miss feeling truly loved. My boyfriend does love me so much. He tells me he never felt this way about anyone else before. That I bring out his inner child, and he loves that. Though I can't appreciate the way he loves me. Big gestures like expensive dinner, lots of verbal affirmation, etc. I don't feel love despite his effort. I don't know if I'm being ungrateful and choosy because I do have someone who is objectively a perfect boyfriend, or if my intuition is really telling me to reconsider this relationship and it might not be right for me. I'm feeling so sad and stuck. I don't know how to move forward here. I'm hoping there's some kind of compassionate souls out there that can lead some advice. The end.
I mean, it sounds like she has tried. I don't know if she's outright said, rather than the big extravagant gestures. I would like for you to show me that you love me by doing the little things, spending time with me where we're just walking, playing little games, or just sitting down and talking. Like, his love language, it sounds like he's showing her he loves her by using his love language, like how he wants to be loved and whatnot. Because sometimes people do that. And it's either she has to outright say it, but if she already has and he's just not doing that, I don't want to say leave him, because let's not always jump to leave him. But just try to work it out. I don't think
he's the problem. I think she is the problem in this instant.
That she can accept the big gestures?
No, she has this idea. I feel like people who have been traumatized or have been through a period of time where they have somebody there for them during a hard time, it's hard to let that go, you know? Because in our mind, it's like, this person loved me when I was broken. This person loved me when I was not whole, when I was not okay. I think that's what it is. Because he comes in, be like, you know, he comes in when she's feeling a little better about herself, you know, more confident, more aware of herself and self-conscious on herself. But also, she says he's a little controlling and has a lot of insecurity. I don't know where I feel about that, you know? Because when a guy have those, for me, I feel like that's a big red flag. For me, at least.
I mean, yeah. I think it should be most girls, because your man shouldn't be controlling. He can voice what he dislikes, but not like telling you, oh, this ain't it.
Right. So let's read the comment, and then we'll be calling it a night.
Yeah, because I'm feeling a little tired.
Even if you broke up with a current boyfriend, find your ex. And even if your ex was single and willing to give it another go, it wouldn't be the same. It might be better. It might be strangely empty. The reason for that is that we change. And as we change, how we relate to others changes. That's it. If being with your boyfriend allows you to write, I'm so sad, it's time to make a change. The point of a relationship isn't so we are not alone. It's not even to make us happy. It's to make our lives better places. And if you are unhappy, your life isn't improving. I agree. Being in a relationship isn't about being selfish, you know? I feel like being in a relationship is about being selfless, you know? You're doing things for the other individual, you know? To an extent. I'm not saying go ahead and give your 100, you know? Like, give maybe...
Like, give up your life.
Yeah, no. And I feel like she shouldn't settle for less either. If she feels like he's not 100 or the person that she wants or is into, don't settle down. You know, there's always will be somebody... with the right one, settling down will be the right call for you. With the right one. You will not even know that you're settling down. It's like, when we're talking about being submissive, I don't see myself ever being submissive to a husband or being submissive to somebody, you know? But I was like, but I also see me doing that for the right one, you know?
Exactly.
Like, consciously doing it, you know? Just doing it because he makes me feel, you know, good, or relationship is where it's supposed to be. Like, I would do that unconsciously, being aware of it, you know? And I think that's what relationships should be about. Doing things unconsciously, you know?
Yeah.
Doing things that you hate, but you just do it because you don't even know you're doing it, and you're doing it because you love the other individual. And then you don't hate the other individual for doing that either.
Honestly, because, like, how is she feeling sad? This man, like, booking dinners and all that stuff. I would love that.
She need to get herself in check. Because if she were to break up with him, there's a chance she'll never get back together with both guys. So she needs to settle down and get her priorities straight.
Yeah, sit down, have a long conversation with yourself, figure out what it is that is missing, what it is that
you're hoping to get in life, or like, what is it that you love most about the other relationship that is missing in this relationship?
Oh, yeah.
And then stop comparing those two relationships.
Why do people do that? Why do females do that? And
I can't say
males?
much about that because I have been comparing a lot of things to a lot of people. So
a lot of people, or one person in particular? Comparing everybody else to one person in particular?
Don't expose me like that. Don't expose
we all
me.
do it, so
Yeah.
we just gotta realize, hey, people are different.
Mm-hmm.
And each person brings something different to your life.
Yeah, but on one hand in my life.
LOL.
Yeah, I said it.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, if I get a surprise invitation, that means he caved in.
Not caved in.
He finally saw my love, that I've been shooting my arrows. He finally, embraced it and stopped being so confused. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm hot. I'm sweating. So it's not me talking.
Huh.
It's exhausted me talking. Don't take me seriously.
Bruh.
Anyways, I think this is a great stopping point. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being here and supporting us. You have a wonderful day. Peace out.
See ya.
Oh, check us out on social media. Bye-bye.